crucial yung vote po bukas. Would you
Apo.
agree? That's, I
Apo,
think,
crucial po yan.
the first uh, biggest decision, the of that magnitude, no? The impeachment court would have to make yung pagbubukas ng ng bank records, tax records, and AMLAC reports regarding Vice President Sara Duterte. Okay?
Apo.
You argued that this would be a fishing expedition. Bakit po?
Well, ang sinasabi kasi natin dito, kaya ako sinabing fishing expedition siya. Again, factual lang. Siguro, Christian, I'll stay with what I said, no? Para hindi ako masabihan nga na going to the merits, and I will not say kung okay yung kumbaga hindi ko i-argue dito yung kaso. I will just say
Kung
factually what I've
sinabi niyo,
already said. Oo.
public na naman yan eh.
Basically, sinimulan ko doon sa doon sa complaints, yung mismong impeachment complaints na final sa House. Ang sinasabi ko doon is nung time kasi na yon, wala man lang na may aligasyon na unexplained wealth, no, yung naging aligasyon. Pero wala man lang anything supporting yung allegation na yon. At sa atin, pag pumunta ka sa isang piskal at nagbigay ka ng reklamo pero walang supporting documents that would come out as evidence, usually dinidismiss yan ng piskal. So sa atin, kailangan nating pakita kung saan ba nagsimula lahat ng to, tapos yung mga alleged pieces of evidence ay naging lang, no, nakalap using yung mga subpoenas ng House after we have already filed yung answer ng Vice Presidente doon sa impeachment complaints. Ngayon, pagdating dito sa Senado, tila yun na naman yung gustong magawa, kukunin itong mga bank records na to, itong mga tax records, kahit na wala namang kaming nakikita na definiteness in terms of meron dong makikitang ebidensya na susuporta dun sa aligasyon.
Okay.
But in saying that, I do have to marami nagsasabi na usual yung defense na fishing expedition pagdating ng subpoenas. Pag gusto mong i-oppose sa isang subpoena, totoo po 'yon, no, na usual 'yan because yung requisites ng subpoena sa atin ay dapat may definiteness, meaning particular yung gusto mong makuha, naka-particularize, no, at naka-specify kumbaga. At pangalawa, dapat may kaugnayan talaga, direktang kaugnayan dito sa isinasagawang paglilitis, specifically doon sa aligasyon.
Okay. I get what you mean, no? Yung binabanggit nyo nung the first time this impeachment complaints were filed sa House of Representatives. Tapos binabanggit nyo na yung mga ebidensya galing sa AMLAC, I suppose, that you were talking about, lumabas dun sa pagdinig na ng House Justice Committee. Tama pa?
Apa.
Okay. But my question is, why is that even an issue when part of the job of the House Justice Committee was fact-finding?
Well, it's an issue for us because, and that's why we filed a petition with the Supreme Court, is because the at least sa aming opinion to, sa aming pananaw to, Christian. So we're not saying we are absolutely correct, but ito yung aming pananaw. That ang mga nasabi is preliminary investigation. Akin to preliminary investigation ang function ng House. So sa amin, dapat ang trabaho nila is tingnan yung reklamo, tingnan yung mga nakalakip na mga supporting documents, at mula doon mag-rule kung talagang dapat tong umusad patungo sa isang full-blown trial or at least to plenary for voting. At hindi nila trabaho ang pag walang ebidensya, sila yung mismong maghahanap ng ebidensya. At least that's our position.
Okay. Hindi ba ang hirap nun, kunwari, ordinary person, may suspecha, meron siya ibang mga nakalat na ebidensya, pero paano naman siya makakakuha ng report coming from AMLAC? At
Naintindihan
that
kita.
first instance.
Opo, naintindihan kita. Okay lang 'yon kung meron ka ng mismong nakalap na kumbaga may supporting, may basis yung allegation. Ang point kasi namin dito, parang ang pag-allege ay sinabi ko lang, magnanakaw si ganito. Pero wala man lang akong kahit anong basis, tapos sasabihin ko na lang sa piskal, bahala ka na, ikaw na maghanap. Basta sa tingin ko magnanakaw siya. Yung
Okay.
ganun ba? So yun lang naman ang punto namin. But again, I don't want to dwell on it so much kasi may pending petition. Plus, I want to be fair din naman na hindi ko to ulit-ulitin sa media. To be fair to the House of Representatives and to the members
Okay.
of the Committee on Justice.
Kasi ang sagot nila dun sa fishing expedition ninyo, sabi ni Representative Terry Redon, balya ng araw yung nakita nila. And he was referring to the AMLAC report. At sa akin kasi, nandyan na po yan eh. Are you disputing the AMLAC report that it was not true?
Well, we don't know wala pa yung authenticity ng AMLAC report, but ang sinasabi kasi namin dito yung AMLAC report which sinabi ko sa aking sa aking oral argument is actually yung AMLAC report bawal maglabas ng ganun eh. So, ngayon titingnan natin kung paano nalabas 'yon at titingnan natin kung ano yung kung baga saan ba talaga galing yung AMLAC report na yon at kung galing sa AMLAC paano na ilabas yun and things like that, no? As to disputing, again, I already said in my press con before, we are not saying it's false, we are not saying it's true, but what we are saying at that time, no, not now, at that time was that it doesn't really, kumbaga, it has a tendency to also mislead because we're talking about transactions and not about not about net worth talaga, but those are things that I guess we'll have to get into in the next few days na ayoko na rin sigurong I hope
Opo,
you understand.
understandable po yun. Miski naman dito sa programa, pinapaliwanag ko rin po na pinag-uusapan natin dito transactions. Inad po yung mga pumasok at lumabas sa bank accounts. But even then, kung accurate po itong AMLAC report, hindi po ito maliit na halaga, 6.7 billion. At dun pa lang, pag binangga dun sa declared salary ng Vice President, at the very least, that raises a lot of questions, hindi po ba?
Well, kailangan natin malaman din ano ba yung span of time kaya lumaki ng ganyan yung figure. Pangalawa, kailangan din natin malaman kung ano ba talaga yung nature of accounts, no? Na pinanggalingan yan, yun ba talaga ay sa respondent or sa asawa lang talaga, those things. Those are things that will have to be thoroughly examined also if and when magkaroon man ng ganyang talakayan sa impeachment court.
Which brings us to the point na ito po madalas madinig natin ng administrasyon ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Kung walang tinatago, bakit ayaw pang ilabas? Kasi kung talagang wala siyang tinatago, wala siyang ninakaw, walang ill-gotten wealth, buksan nyo para matahimik kayo.
Okay. Sa atin po, Sir Christian, ang pinanggagalingan natin, ano ba ang legal system natin, 'di ba? Again, I'm not saying kumbaga I'm just saying our side, no, without going into the merits. Pero ang legal system natin is may presumption tayo of innocence. So kung merong magsasagawa ng aligasyon o magbibintang, dapat siya yung maglabas ng pruweba. Bakit sasabihin na dapat kami ang voluntarily maglabas ng kung ano-anong bagay when such thing is very intrusive, no, sa isang financial history na isang tao. So sa atin, naiintindihan ko yung mga ganyang sentimento, pero kailangan natin tandaan na ayon sa ating salikang batas, ang presumption is presumption of innocence, hindi presumption of guilt. So
Opo.
kung ganon, dapat magpakita ng pruweba na naayon sa batas yung pagkakalap ng mga ebidensya or pruweba na yan.
Opo. Nagigets ko po yung sinasabi ninyo, no? Presumption of innocence. Dapat yung burden of proof nandun sa nag-aakusa. Pero in this case, lumabas po itong mga detalyeng ito galing sa AMLAC Hindi ba nag-shift na yung burden? At least pag pinag-usapan na po yan, no? Pag na-offer na po yung ebidensya na yan sa Senate impeachment trial, hindi ba mag-shift na yung burden naman sa inyo to disprove these allegations?
Pag na-offer na po. So,
Opo,
tingnan
pag
po
na-offer
muna
na.
natin kung ma-offer. Oo, definitely. Kasi yung burden of proof doesn't shift, but the burden of evidence shifts. So, once mapresenta yan at talagang kung let's say, mailatag nila na talagang may mga questionable na amounts or transaction na really pertaining to a respondent, syempre po, yung depensa, kailangan din maglatag at ng kanilang depensa kung bakit hindi dapat ito makitang questionable. So, on that point, I think we will agree.
Balik tanaw tayo ng konti doon sa 2012 impeachment trial ni then Chief Justice
Chief
Renato
Justice.
Corona. Okay.
Apo.
Alam po natin na he was convicted dahil meron siyang substantial na halaga in peso and dollar deposits na hindi niya dineklara sa kanyang SALN. At dahil doon naging very very strict, hindi po ba? Would you agree? Itong issue ng SALN, dapat talaga
Mm.
accurate yan. And then this was
Mm.
also the same issue that was used dito naman po sa Coaranto case kay then Chief Justice Maria Lourdes
Sereno.
Sereno.
Opo.
Now, given
Opo.
these precedents, no, dito sa Coaranto at saka doon sa Corona impeachment trial, hindi ba tagilid si Vice President dito? Kung totoo yung sinasabi ng prosecution, napakasimple, ibabangga lang yan sa kanyang salin. At pag merong hindi accurate, dapat i-convict siya.
Nako, sa akin, sa tingin ko, hindi tagilid. But obviously, I'm advocating for one party. I'm a defense counsel, so I think it's predictable that I will answer in that way. Para sa atin, hindi naman po tagilid because we are standing by our position, no, na wala pong hindi disclose, wala pong unexplained wealth. But bakit namin nasabing ganun, I cannot talk about it just yet, pero definitely we're ready to present that to the people, not just to the impeachment trial, but also to the people because, as you know, talagang may public interest sa pagdating sa impeachment.
Okay, kasi ito pa, no, naalala ko rin, no, nung panahon ni Chief Justice Renato Corona, of course, yung defense, we understand, no, talagang kailangan yung gawin yung trabaho ninyo, no? Kailangan ipagtanggol yung principal. Pero by focusing, let's say, on the technicalities, sasabihin yung yung karapatan, due process, alam po natin yun, dapat lahat may nag-i-enjoy nun. Pero dito pinag-uusapan po natin impeachment. No? Hindi naman siya tatanggalan ng buhay, life, liberty, or property. Position lang. At kung sakasakala hindi na siya makakatakbo. By invoking all these things, no, that are accorded to every person under our laws, hindi ba parang mas pinapahirap natin yung pagpapanagot doon sa mga impeachable officers or officials ng ating bansa? Na iba naman yung kanilang sitwasyon dahil meron silang mandato at pinagkatiwala natin yung mandato na yun sa kanila. Kaya nga merong impeachable offense na betrayal of public trust.
Opo. Well, first of all, syempre po yung pagpapanagot, no, that presupposes na may kailangan panagutan, hindi ba? Syempre ang posisyon namin ay wala tayo sa ganun, no? And we shouldn't prejudge whoever it is. And even if you're talking about the highest officials of the land, they are public officers to a certain degree. Talaga naman dapat talaga, no, na may transparency and accountability. I mean, not only to a certain degree, pero I mean dapat may transparency and accountability. But also, hindi porket presidente ka, vice presidente ka, chief justice ka, or justice ka man lang, ay sinusuko mo na, no, yung mga karapatan mo under the constitution and under the laws. Ngayon, dun sa oral arguments, if you notice, I really tried to veer away from talagang technicalities, no? That's why what I was arguing then was either the constitution, yung due process, which is not technicality, and yung substantive part, lalo na yung mga bawat laws na sumasaklaw dito sa mga dokumentong hinihingi nila. So, ang pananaw ko po namin doon, at pananaw ko dahil ako naman yung nag-deliver ng oral arguments, is hindi po mere technicality kasi ito eh. Ito po ay mga batas na ginawa mismo ng Kongreso, no, ng both House and Senate, at nung ginawa ito, katulad nung sa AMLAC, ito ay ginawa tapos na yung mga impeachment trials. So cognizant sila dito sa mga naganap na impeachment trials ni former President Estrada, ni CJ Corona, at yung co-waranto. So ang sa akin po talaga, I tried to argue on the substantive issues, meaning protection given by laws, not just to the vice president or to the president, pero kahit tayo. No, kasi yung mga batas na yan ginawa yan para protektahan talaga ang financial transactions ng bawat Pilipino eh. Now, whether the court will appreciate that or not, I guess we'll see, no? And I'm not saying also na kami lahat tama tapos yung kabila mali. So there are points on both sides which will really have to be weighed, no, by the impeachment court.
Last two questions po, attorney, no? Una,
Okay po.
anong tingin nyo rito sa ilang mga senator judges na tila kakampi ninyo? Parang kulang na lang lumipat dun sa lugar ninyo at mag-argue na for you. I'm talking about the likes of the Cayetano siblings at saka si Robin Hood Padilla.
Ay, sa akin, sir, I hope you will not mind, but I will not comment on those things kasi unang-una, hindi ko naman po sila nakakausap. Pangalawa, yung kakampi is probably perception, no? So, but syempre, ang sasabihin ko is from what I've heard, lahat naman sila, they're just asking questions on their appreciation of what is being presented, whether it's for us or against us, kahit yung pag sa tingin namin, it's adverse to us. Ayoko rin namang sabihin na isang senador ay kakampi ng prosecution, 'di ba? So I just want to be fair to all of our senators. I think we have to give the senators and the presiding officer, of course, the benefit of the doubt na at the end of the day, uh, they will decide based on evidence. Now, if we feel that certain comments or opinions go one way or the other, I don't want to prejudge and say ay kakampi or ito kalaban. No, I hope you
Opo.
would understand.
I understand it. Ayoko naman mapatrouble kayo. Pero ito naman po, nasaksihan naman ng lahat eh. Yung hindi tinanong ng defense panel ang nagtanong si Robin Hood Padilla. Pati ba naman yung kaso dito kay Attorney Lotok, siya nagbanggit and he thought he had a gotcha moment. I mean, that was plain to see for everyone. I was just thinking, medyo para bang natuwa ba kayo quietly? O nga, at least merong nagko-cross examine on our behalf. Pero ganun tumakbo man lang sa isip ninyo.
Well, at that time, actually, sir, sa totoo lang, hindi ko masasabi. Kasi sa amin, we were just focused on our cross-examination, no? Ngayon, kung may nagtatanong ng ganun, of course, it exposes certain things. Kung totoo man o hindi ko rin alam, no? But in the same way, pag meron namang senador na magtanong na sa tingin ko ay parang kino-question yung theory ng defense o I also don't take it as if siding with the or lawyering for the prosecution kasi baka naman talagang curious lang yung senator because syempre at the end of the day sila yung magdedesisyon eh. So sila dapat yung may alam ng mga bagay-bagay at makaintindi ng mga bagay-bagay na pinipresenta ng dalawang panig.
Okay. Lastly, Attorney Powa. Would you advise the Vice President to personally appear in her impeachment trial down the line?
It will depend. I know that's a very safe answer, but that is as truthful as I can be with you. It will depend. Kasi sa ngayon, sasabihin ko sa inyong diretso, hindi ko pa nakikita na kailangan, no? But kung sa tingin namin na makakatulong sa kaso na siya mismo ay mag-attend at to even testify, that is something we will have to gauge, and that is something that we are very conscious about, hindi ba? So sa ngayon, kasi pag sinasabi kong kung kinakailangan, yun ang parating sagot ko sa media. It may sound like a very safe answer, a very vague answer eh. Pero yun talaga yung totoo eh. Kasi titingnan muna natin yung takbo ng trial. Tapos kung sa tingin ko disadvantageous, bakit ko i-advise? Pero kung sa tingin ko, nako, kinakailangan na talaga, kinakailangan magsalita siya, then ultimately the decision will still be with our client. But then I will have to advise her to do so.